One day, monsters suddenly emerged from the earth. Countless monsters crawled out from below. Even guns and ammunition couldn't destroy them. In just 1 month, 98% of humanity was wiped out. But strangely, the monsters never ventured above 8,000 feet. Therefore, only those who lived above that altitude survived. 3 years have passed since the monster catastrophe. A group of survivors is living in the refuge mountains at a very high altitude, surrounded by boundary lines, to remind everyone not to venture beyond. Because once they go below 8,000 feet, they will be attacked by monsters, and so everyone has gradually adapted to life here. Among them, Will is raising his child alone. However, his son is suffering from a lung disease. Living in the same village is scientist Nina. She tirelessly researches ammunition day and night, hoping one day she can fight back. But still, the bullets can't penetrate the monster's skin. At this point, Will's son's lung condition worsens. The medical supplies on the mountain have run out, not enough to sustain the boy for long. So, Will come up with a bold idea. He then goes to Nina's house to ask for her help. Will has just discovered a path through the mine. They only have to cross the boundary twice, and Nina can take that opportunity, return to her old laboratory to find the necessary chemicals. Upon hearing this, Nina immediately agreed, because all of her relatives had been killed by the monster. She has to find a way to destroy it, to avenge her family. Then Will ask the kind neighbor to take care of his son. The next day, Will goes to buy weapons, but Will doesn't expect that. His friend Katie, upon hearing he will going down the mountain, is worries and wants to come along. A life of constant running has bored Katie. She will rather be killed by a monster than live like this forever. So, the three of them begin their perilous journey. They quickly reach the border. Nina has a watch she invented that can detect monsters nearby through the biological magnetic field. After carefully observing the watch, they found nothing unusual. They then cross the boundary line, separating the safe zone, and officially step into the monster's territory. On the road, they stumble upon a battlefield. They immediately search for useful equipment. Will find a grenade launcher and hand it to Katie. Nina also find a piece of monster skin. After finding nothing else useful, they continue on their way. In 3 years, humanity was wiped out. More animals start to appear in the forest. Very quickly, they reach the place with the chairlift. They just need to start it up so they can quickly get to the safe zone. But at that moment, Nina suddenly noticed the clock hands spinning rapidly. Sure enough, a monster's silhouette appear in the distance. Seeing this, Will quickly climb onto the control panel, try to start the chairlift. Meanwhile, Nina and Katie fire to slow down the monster. But since it hasn't been used for a long time, the chairlift is end start, and the monster keeps getting closer. Seeing this, Katie immediately throws a grenade, although the huge explosion destroys everything around. However, the monster is unharmed. It only slows the monster down. Then the monster charges towards them. In the nick of time, Will successfully activate the chairlift. Will and Nina get on first, but Katie is too far away. While the monster is still in furious pursuit, Will tell Katie to quickly climb the support pillar and fire shots to slow the monster down, to give her a few more seconds. When reaching the top, Kite daringly jump onto it. Will manage to grab Katie and pull her up. The chairlift carry them a considerable distance quickly. The monster cannot catch up with them. It jump up and sever the cable, causing the cable to snap in two, and 3 of them fall down to the ground as a result. Luckily, the safe zone is right ahead. They immediately run quickly toward it. Thanks to that, they escape danger. Later, in the safe zone, they find a house and start discussing the monsters. Why do the monsters only kill humans but don't eat them? Why don't it exceed an altitude of 8,000 feet? Moreover, they don't need to sleep. It's as if they are born only to destroy humans. After resting the whole night, they quickly head to the abandoned mine. Although this place is over 8,000 feet high, Nina discovered deep within the tunnel there is a section lower than the safe altitude, and her watch cannot work underground, so it cannot be able to warn about the appearance of the monsters. Besides, it live underground. It's possible to detect humans just from a light breath, but there's no turning back now, so the 3 of them go inside. Inside the mine, it was very dark. After walking for a while, they despair upon finding that the path to the hospital was blocked. Only one path remained to get there, but they will have to descend to an altitude below 8,000 feet. They gather all their courage, climb down the ladder, and speed up to pass through the dangerous area. Suddenly, Katie feels something behind her. They quickly cover the lights on their helmets. Sure enough, a red shadow is right ahead. They instantly start running as fast as they can. Katie fires a grenade at the monster, slowing it down. When the monster is blocked by a mining machine, Will stop and shot it, but the monster still quickly chases after them. They run into a small gap in the rocks ahead. Then they keep shooting at the monster. Nina tells everyone to turn off the lights and hold their breath. Sure enough, the monster immediately loses its target, but it still doesn't give up. It extends its tentacle to probe. Seeing that, Will throws a flare, and it successfully draws the monster's attention. That moment, they stealthily crawl away to the back, but the monster seems to know their intentions and leave the position. It waits until Katie manages to escape. The monster is already waiting behind. It attacks Katie brutally and drags her into the darkness. Witnessing this scene, the two others are deeply distressed, but they can only suppress their sorrow and quickly climb the ladder to escape. Will and Nina successfully escape the mine, reach the safe zone. Although very sad, they must keep moving forward. Afterwards, they reach an abandoned farm. Will discovers a vehicle that can still function here. There is a lot of food inside the house. Nina also reveals that she wants to return to the old laboratory to retrieve Meiji. After many days of research, she discovers the skin of the monster. It cannot be penetrated by normal weapons, but it reacts chemically with magnesium. The next day, they drive the car towards the small town. There are many wild horses in the road. Not long after, the two of them finally reach the hospital safely. This place has become a complete mess. They don't have much time. Quickly search for the medicine. At this moment, the watch on Nina's wrist suddenly starts spinning wildly, indicating that the monster is nearby. They cannot afford to delay any longer. After getting the medicine, they hurriedly run outside, but the monster attacked through the wall. Luckily, they avoid it. They have to run to the rooftop, but just then, Will is suddenly caught by a tentacle. In a critical moment, Nina grabs an axe and chops at the monster to make it release him. However, they have run out of options now, but Will notices the oxygen tanks nearby. He hides behind a nearby table. As the monster approaches, he quickly shoots at the oxygen tank. The huge explosion sends the monster flying outside. It lies still, burnt to a crisp on the ground. It seems these monsters aren't invincible. Then they both head to the laboratory. This is where Nina used to work. They hope to find a way to defeat the monster there. Will is in charge of guarding the perimeter. While Nina prepares the chemicals, she combines magnesium with other compounds. Then, she applies it to the bullet and fires, but the monster's skin doesn't even get scratched at all. Seeing there is no time left, Will urges Nina to leave quickly. However, she wants to stay and continue the experiment. Then, Nina even tells Will to go ahead, because her car is parked nearby. If the experiment continues to fail, she will drive off on her own. Hearing that, Will doesn't stop her anymore, because he must quickly return to his son. Back to work. No matter how Nina adjusts the ratio, she can't penetrate the monster's skin. As she falls into despair, the monster is approaching. Just then, she sees the battery nearby. Nina is enlightened. She quickly adds cobalt to the reagent. Just then, the monster advanced. Nina fired the new bullet at it. Meanwhile, as Will is driving back, he unfortunately has a flat tire, causing the car to flip over. Will tries his best to kick the windshield open and then get out of the car, but this also attracts the attention of the monster. Will has no choice but to run quickly towards the mountain. The 8,000-foot elevation is right in front of him, but before Will can reach the safe zone, he is surrounded by the monsters. He can only try to shoot, but it is nothing compared to the monster. Just when Will thinks he is surely going to die, Nina above quickly comes to his rescue. She successfully creates a type of chemical bullet that can destroy the monster, causing them to explode upon impact. When they have destroyed all the monsters, as the two look at the monster's wreckage, they are surprised to find it isn't biological, but alien-made machines. Therefore, the monster does not need to eat or sleep, but are only programmed to kill humans and not exceed an altitude of 8,000 feet. Finally, they return to the village. Will is also reunited with his son. Nina quickly raises the pirate flag for other nearby communities to signal their successful monster extermination. Then, Nina guides everyone on how to defeat the monster. They immediately prepare for a large counterattack, creating many more chemical shells. All of them combine forces and quickly counterattack, eliminating the monster. They publicly announce how to eliminate them, and humanity quickly reclaims its territory. This movie ends here. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe us to enjoy more 4K movies with perfect sound. Up next, I'll show you more detail about this movie. This is a film that is relatively well praised for its visuals and sound, with thrilling and breathtaking adventure moments. If you are a fan of monster and action movies, then this is a movie well worth watching in its entirety. The monster's design in the movie is quite impressive, featuring a fierce appearance with thick armor. The movie's plot is somewhat similar to the Tomorrow War, as Earth faces an invasion from alien monsters. However, the reason why the monsters in the movie nearly wiped out humanity is unconvincing, such as an oxygen explosion being able to immobilize them for a long time. Therefore, this monster should have been destroyed by heavy weapons like missiles. Moreover, their numbers are not really large, as only a few appear even when they traverse an entire city. Earth has many scientists who could study ways to eliminate the monsters, instead of just Nino alone. At the end of the movie, also revealed that the aliens continue to attack Earth. Hopefully, the sequel will be more logical and feature a larger number of monsters.